Welcome to the experience live with Russ and Scott with our guests and Nguyen and Leanne Kinde.
Welcome to the experience live with Russ and Scott.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook.
The experience is made possible by these great sponsors. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show, unscripted conversations with experts, each week hosted by Christine Smith on AgingBetterNetwork.com. Nancy Bakke, transform your business's profit potential with proven strategies and tactics. BestEntrepreneurSolutions.com. Summit Cleaning and Restoration, providing specialty cleaning and emergency restoration services to businesses and homeowners.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the experience live with Russ and Scott. We're going to get this right because I was just noticing something and it threw me off. So, Scott, you want to correct me on who our other sponsor actually is this morning?
Who is our other sponsor this morning? I can tell you because it's locked up in my brain, and my brain is over on the other screen here.
Oh, it's all right. Well, the other sponsor this month is the Gillot Home team of Keller Williams, and we're so thankful for Laura and her team, and that having the fact that I did not correct the video. There we go. I'll just be honest with everybody. I made a mistake, but life goes on. This is live.
Laura and the Gillot Home team have been fabulous. They've been with the experience since the very beginning. We've been doing this 3.5 years. Yes. And so they started out with us, and Laura has been very supportive, encouraging, and her team took care of my wife and I when we sold our house. They did all that work, and oh my gosh, they do a fabulous job, and I love working with Gillot Home team.
There you go. Well, and Scott, you and I on the experience backstage, by the way, everybody, we have a show before this on the Instagram only live, and it's called the experience backstage. It's us prepping for this show, getting ready. And so this morning I was talking about being intentional in planning, and obviously I was not intentional enough in planning to be ready this week for the video on this show. I had every other show ready to go, and for some reason forgot to slip that video in there. But you know what? We're thankful to Christine, Aging Better Network. We're thankful to Nancy Bakke. She is amazing with her coaching services, and thankful to Laura Gillot. And we just want to give a big shout out to them. And that won't happen again next week. So we'll be all good to go. And yeah, anyway, Scott, so what's going on with you this morning?
Oh, well, it's, of course, this is the first week of July, which means it's Independence Day. And I live in Independence, Oregon. So it is a huge event for us. And there's a big parade. We're going to be in the parade. So we're going to get up tomorrow morning and take the convertible over, and we get to escort a person from the art center.
Ah, very good. How exciting. Yeah. Well,
I'm just thinking about actually setting the camera up and live streaming our experience in the parade. And so look for that as a potential. We may do that.
Well, that is so great. Live streaming, I've heard about it. It's supposed to be a great thing. Hey, listen, everybody, we're so thankful that you're here. And, we love to connect, Scott and I, with you. And the best way you can connect with us is go to the new landing page called local.theexperience.video. We have an offshoot from this show that's every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, and that is the Experience Local Live with Russ and Scott, where we highlight believers in business in our local area with local sponsors. But we're always promoting. We want everybody to watch all around the world because we want to promote that you do the same. Don't forget, because we have an amazing global community, don't forget your local community. And because of that, Scott created this landing page, which has Scott's and my web pages, D. Scott Smith for him, russhedge.com for me. And you can go get information on that and all of our shows. And so we want to remind you to do that. If you want to go straight to our YouTube page, you can actually go to the experience.video and subscribe. You might find some fun things on there because we're doing some fun shorts. My dog and cat, my little beagle and cat show up every now and then. And today we have a video with Scott and I talking about a talking dog, which is my beagle. So, you never know what you're going to find. By the way, Scott, Maddie was very popular yesterday. Yes, it was a big day for that. But anyway, we just do fun things. But that's what the experience of life is all about, is enjoying life and doing things that we love to do. Last but not least, I want to remind you, besides subscribing to YouTube, is please share this out today. Tag your friends, let them know that we're here, that we have two amazing guests in Anne and Leanne. We're super excited to bring them in. And so I just want to remind you that you got to get your friends come in this direction. But if you miss it, it will stay on replay. You can watch it on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And it does convert to audio podcast. So you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. So, Scott, I think I got all of that out of the way. Are you ready to get our guest
We
in?
were just talking about this on the backstage over on Instagram. And as I said, the old football coach said, do the things you have to do so you can do the things you want to do. We got the promotion out of the way about where to subscribe. Join us on YouTube. Follow us over there. Enjoy these fabulous talking dog videos. If you want to know what that means, well, then you're going to have to go to the experience.video. But now we get to do the things that we want to do, which is talk to Leanne and Anne.
There you go. There you go. Well, listen, we are going to start with Anne. We're going to bring her in first. And we're just so blessed to have both these ladies today. Welcome, Anne.
Hello.
Hey.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I am doing well, getting ready for the holiday weekend. As soon as I am done here, we're getting on the road and heading to Houston.
Oh, how fun. How fun. Well, listen, let's start off with some basics. Who is Anne Nguyen and what are you up to?
I am a digital marketer, and actually I've been in marketing for, back when there were fax machines and we used to get paper insertion orders from advertising agencies. I know there's probably a number of folks out there who are like, what? And then saw the evolution to digital tools and solutions and just embraced it. And I work typically with B2B brands, and really in the last 6 months or so have worked on making the shift to working more with nonprofits and purpose-driven ventures. Nonprofits have always held a special place in my heart. And so I would hope to be able to work more with them and working on some different solutions for that community. I am from Texas, essentially. I grew up in Houston, now live in the Dallas area, but am back in Houston quite often. And that's a little bit about me.
And here's an interesting thing, if you don't know this. I live in Oregon, but I will be living in Waco, Texas.
No way.
Yep.
Okay, why?
He's leaving me across. Yeah. I told him, why are you doing that?
Thought why?
Well, we'll talk all about it, but it's just honestly, the first reason is we want to do it, and we can. Over the last 10 years plus, worked on building a location independent business. Doesn't matter. We can go anywhere that we want. And we just feel called to Waco.
Wow. Well, you'll just be south of me, about an hour and a half. So we should
Yep.
meet somewhere in the middle when you have relocated to Waco.
You got that right.
Well, and the beautiful thing about this, even though I'm going to miss Scott leaving, we're still obviously continuing to do all that we do. I'm going to miss my coffees here with Scott, but I'm going to go to Texas and I have a place to stay. So he didn't know
Yeah,
that already,
absolutely.
that I was crashing in.
You've already
We
invited yourself to his
we have
I
a
house.
told him, I
place
said, make sure you get another
with a
room
guest
so I can come.
Yeah, we have a place with a guest room, and you'll recognize this is actually from the Space Center there in Houston.
Mhm.
And that particular shuttle is Independence.
Oh,
That's
very
the
nice.
town I
Very
live in right
apropos,
now. So
Scott. And may I say one thing about Independence Day, which I intended to share and I forgot in my introduction? My family and I are refugees after the Vietnam War. We came here in 1975, and I didn't find out till probably just a couple of years ago that we landed in Houston on the 4th of July.
oh
So
my
how
word,
very apropos that we came to
that's
this
beautiful.
country on Independence Day.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Well, first of all, let me say that since at some point in the future I'll be going to Texas, then I'll get to come see you too, Ann. And Scott, I have been blessed to go to the Houston Space Center. It's been years, but I've seen a lot of cool. That's a cool place.
Mhm.
But anyway, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we've got Leanne Kinde, who is amazing, just waiting. She's back there waving at me, going, do I got to come in? Is it time for me? Here she comes. Hey, Leanne.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Hey, we had such a great conversation, and both you ladies are doing amazing things. Tell everybody, who is Leanne Kinde? What are you up to?
Sure. Yeah, I am a copywriter, a mom, and a runner. So to give a little bit of background, I dreamed of being a writer since I was a little girl. I was doing freelance writing for a time in my early 20s, and I kind of gave up on the dream and everything, went to a corporate job, and then the perfect trifecta of experiences came together, and I returned to writing, and now I have my own writing business. And what happened? Yeah. So I was having my son. I stopped drinking alcohol, and I just discovered coaching as well. And that is why I work with coaches now. I feel really, really moved, and genuinely it helped me get out of a spot where I felt stuck. So yeah, I love the industry. I love working for coaches. I do emails, blogs, and social media posts for coaches, and we will work on making them really genuine, heartfelt, and getting clients in a really a way that doesn't feel icky or too like charisman sales driven.
I love the writing because everything has writing. I mean, every product that you pick up
Yeah.
has copy on it. And not everyone can write. We were driving through California, and the Caltrans had the big signs up, and it said, drunk drivers call, and then it had a toll-free number. We're like, see, not everybody can write. You need to hire Leanne, please, please, please.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times there's a lot of people that are just like, yeah, you should not write. You should definitely hire somebody that can do that. Yeah, I tell you, ladies, this always reminds me, I'm thinking about whether you're coaching or writing or whatever you're doing, digital media, whatever, we all have special talents that we can offer to other people. And then we also, in turn, can get great help from others with special talents. And I think that's so important to people to remember. You're not on an island by yourself. We're definitely better together. And Ann, I want to throw this back to you. When we come together, there's amazing things possible. Scott and I just enjoy this show is so amazing. Just be able to come together, and we gain so much value and knowledge, as do all of our listeners. And Ann, how do you feel about that whole thing where, I think there's a real move for collaboration today?
Oh, absolutely. I think that collaboration and community are both very important, right? And that's something I firmly believed in. within my own community, you'll find lots of other marketers. So people that essentially could possibly be my competitors, but I don't consider them my competitors. They're my collaborators. And I've really enjoyed collaborating with many of them, like Cami, Scott, that's how I met you. And then Sandra Fernandez, shout out to those folks. And then the My Heart Communications folks. Wanted to give some shout outs to my ladies. But you can't really succeed without that collaboration because,
Right.
As you said, Russ, we're not on an island. You can't do everything yourself. There are many skills that I know enough about to be dangerous, but I certainly would not say that I am skillful enough to help a client with it or help someone with it. So I love being able to pull in others to collaborate on projects and really, work together in that way. And I think there's enough business to go around for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how I've always done business.
Well, and we're not for everybody, right, Scott? I mean, there's times when somebody specifically is better for what somebody needs. I can produce and put together live streams and podcasts, but I had a customer that was looking for something specific. And I thought my good friend Mike DeChocho in New York was perfect for them. I am all about working to support others. And Scott, you remember, I always say when I first started live streaming, people would say to me, why are you bringing on coaches and live streamers and stuff that you do, all your competitors? I said, they're not my competitors. They're my friends, and I'm working to lift them up because we are better together and we all rise together. Right, Scott?
I always say, so right over here, there's a corner four-way stop. And, you could put a plumber on each one of those four corners and they would still be busy. In fact, they would probably do more business because they're like, oh yeah, I do commercial, I do residential, I do industrial, I fix the clogs and whatever. I mean, there is so much specialization that we can do. And when you're out, and I love this. So the social media breakfast just come up. Brittany mentioned that this, and Ann, we can have you talk about this as well. But when you go to networking events like the social media breakfast or your Chamber of Commerce meeting, you're not necessarily going there to find customers. You're going there to find partners. And partners are people who solve problems you don't solve, but allow you to add value to your network. So just like Russ was able to share Mike DeChocho's services with somebody, it was like, yeah, this is not something I do, but let me connect you with the right person. And then people will go to Russ because it's like, man, even if he doesn't do it, he knows the person. And that's where you add value. And
Exactly.
I'll switch over to Leanne on that and say, look, I don't want to write, but I want to hire. I need writing done. So let me get somebody who knows what the heck they're doing. Leanne, you're up.
I'm sorry, what was the question? I missed it.
Well, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to clarify.
How do you find the right partners?
Yeah, I'm going to clarify a little bit on that, Scott, just for Leanne before she goes, because, Leanne, there are a lot of writers out there, and there's times when they can come together. Like I've written 4 collaborative books, 4 anthologies, where there's a bunch of writers coming together. So, Scott, I think the frame of his question is the same kind of thing. You're not just like in competition against every writer. There's a lot of value in collaborating with other writers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely tons of value collaborating with other writers. I've been in anthologies myself. I've worked with other writers myself. It's definitely, I think personally, the wrong thing to focus on. If you think about, almost thinking of it as like a pie and there's only so many pieces to go around. I think competition is the wrong thing to think about. I think thinking about, again, the value you add, your relationships, how you can genuinely help people and inspire them is definitely the right focus. And I know, I really do think all the other pieces will fall into place there. And I've definitely, even some of my best clients have been amazing writers themselves, like best-selling authors, everything like that. And you get to a point in your business, you just need a little help. You can't do every single aspect of it yourself. So Yeah, definitely. I've worked with amazing writers and I've learned from them and vice versa. So it's been a wonderful collaborative, yeah, experience. Hmm.
I want to say that Scott's actual point of four corners, I always think of that because, there isn't like just only this much and everybody has to fight for every piece of the pie, like you said, Leanne. Every time you go to a street corner in a big city along a freeway, what do you see? Where you find a McDonald's, you find a Burger King, you find a Wendy's, they're all together because good businesses attract customers for everybody and everybody does better. And I'm going to kick this back to you because, I have found again by lifting others and helping others, truly I get help. People send me business and me people, and I don't have to fight them for it. Instead, we all work together to make each other better.
Yep, absolutely. I completely agree, and that's why community and community building, as you put in the comment there, is very important to me, and I've always been that has always been a part of who I am, not just because of business. I believe in connecting with others, and I feel like if I'm able to connect to people with things they need that has nothing to do with me, then I love it. I love that feeling, and I love the I guess the expectation when I have of friends or colleagues who come to me and say, I don't know someone who does this, but I bet you do. And so I'm able to make that connection for them. And I think it just brings more value. And back to what you were saying earlier, Scott, right? I would rather be able to say, I'm not a good fit for you, but I do know someone who may be a good fit for you. And that is much more valuable than saying, hey, I can't work with you. Good luck. That just is not the way to build your community and not the way to collaborate with others.
Yeah, I want to be the person that people come to because they know I'm going to tell them straight up. I'm not
I've
the
had the
person
most random requests, right? Somebody calls me
Yeah.
and says, I know you know someone in Austin who makes this particular type of dish. Can you connect them with them because I need a caterer for my company event? I'm like, yes, I do.
Absolutely. This is it, that is so much fun when you get to connect people up. And one of the expectations that we need to not have is that when you give that caterer, when you recommend that caterer, you are an advocate for them, but it doesn't mean that they have to reciprocate, right? Don't expect that part.
Exactly. If there's that expectation, I feel like it devalues what you've just done. And it's not really tit for tat. I never think of it that way because I feel like putting out good to the universe will come back to you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Leanne, I think that I've been always a firm believer that God blesses people that are just giving unconditionally and helping, like Scott's talking about. When we're always looking to get things, I think we get into the wrong mindset, and I'm all about mindset. What do you think about that, Leanne?
Yeah, same here. I am all about mindset as well, and I love that giving mindset because I really do think it's all about building relationships and focusing on what you can give, how you can inspire, how you can heal people. I think, people overcomplicate it. They're like, oh, well, I want to sell this, I want to sell that. And they start, unfortunately, focusing on the numbers, focusing on the conversion, and those things matter. But at the end of the day, if you can tell a really powerful story that helps someone feel less alone, if you can tell a really powerful story that helps people, that is actually going to be so much more impactful than any of the marketing hacks you see out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that the name marketing hacks is an appropriate name because there's a lot of hacks out there, right, Scott? I mean, really,
Yeah.
when you're authentic and you're really trying to help people, they know. And I just think this whole thankful giving spirit of working together, like I said from the get-go, I love being around all the people that do what I do because it makes me better. And I want to help them, not just expect them to help me, right, Scott?
I love what Leanne's saying because often I say that people connect through stories, and stories are best told in the human voice. And that's what I love about podcasts, about the streaming video, about even connecting up through video conference meetings, right? Do your one-on-one meetings. Obviously, absolutely the best is when you can meet, as my wife says, in 3D, right? When you can see the person face to face and take advantage of those opportunities. So like next week, we're going to be in Arizona. So I'm putting the word out. Look, we're going to be here. Let's find an opportunity to get together and have coffee, shake hands. And as our buddy Brian Fanzo says, social media turns handshakes into hugs.
Yeah, and I'm all about that because I'm a hugger. So COVID was really hard for people like me. But ladies, I just love what you both are all about. But we're actually getting to the part where we're winding up the show already, believe it or not. I want to give you time for your final comments and to be able to let everybody know how they get in touch with you. And Anne, we're going to start with you.
Great. First off, thank you so much for this opportunity to be on here and have this conversation with you and Scott. I love live streaming. And in fact, I've got 3 different live streaming shows. So connect with me here on LinkedIn. This is where I'm most active these days, since Twitter has become a little bit of a dumpster fire. And you'll be able to find my live stream shows here as well. Again, I'd love to connect with you all and just have these conversations. And I wanted to give a shout out to Scott as well for his very generous offer of having being kind of my accountability partner or person to text him my updates on what I'm doing with my book.
That is so awesome. Well, Scott is great at that because Scott is actually working with me on my latest book. And Scott, I have been making progress, Coach. By the way, I promise I'm moving on it. I got to get this done while I can still have coffee with Scott.
Good. I was going to make you run laps if you didn't. So
there you go. I knew
feel
you were
bad.
going to do
I haven't texted Scott in a few weeks, so I owe him an update.
But I knew you were coming on, and it was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. We want to hear what's going on.
Going to hear online. All right, Leanne, you're up next.
Sure. All right. Well, first of all, congratulations on everyone writing a book. That's so exciting. And I need to get on board with the motivational text and accountability from Scott because I'm also writing a book. So I'll have to bug him. Yeah. And yeah, I just thank you so much for the opportunity to be on the show. I love what everyone is all about. Just the community and the heart here is really, really obvious. And that is what I am all about. Of course, I love writing. I love what I do. But the reason I love doing it is just because I really do feel like I have been there. I've been in a point in life where I felt a little stuck, a little hopeless, and stuff. And writing is what helped pull me out of that. The connection, coaching, all of that helped pull me out of it. And it's not about marketing in the end. It's really about impacting lives, healing people. It's about so much more. So, and you can reach me on LinkedIn. It's Leanne Kinde. And I'm also on www.singlesparkcoachingcoffee.com.
There you go. And, it is amazing that all of these things have appeared magically below the ladies during their talk, and they're clickable, by the way, in the comments and the show notes. So I want to remind everybody, it's super simple to get to them today. I've been busy trying to keep up with the comments this morning. Got a great group here today. And I am looking forward. So, we were talking about things that we love coming together and collaborating because of people. And I love people. And I'm looking forward to the day when Scott does move. And I'll be there at the social media breakfast because Cammie is an amazing friend. And I will hopefully get a chance to speak there to everybody because Cammie's been amazing. My first book, I got to know her right before that through the Global Tea Break. And my first book, she was one of my endorsements on the book. And so appreciated her so much and all that she does. So anyway, with that, ladies, we want to thank you both. We're going to say goodbye for now, but hang tight in the green room. Scott and I want to talk to you real quick after. But thanks for being here today. You both are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, and have a wonderful holiday weekend, everyone.
Independence.
Yes.
Celebrate independence.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you in a
Happy
minute.
holidays.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Fabulous, fabulous.
There you go. I'm making us huge again. Woo! There we come. All right.
Bigger than
Russ-
life. We're bigger
Russ
than life.
is having a little problem with the controls this morning, everybody, but it's okay. It's live and we just keep going in spite of it. So
It's all fun. Wow, what a great thing to have Leanne and Ann on today. I'm just a big fan of hiring the right people and coaches. You need to have coaches. You need to have those folks in your life who do keep you accountable and make you do more of what you can actually do. I love the Olympics. I'm a big fan of the Olympics. Those are coming up here. All those athletes have coaches. No matter how great they are, they have coaches. Russ, you love to share the Michael Jordan story, but it all comes down to the story of the people. And that's what I love about the Olympics is that we get to hear these stories that inspire us. And I guarantee you that your story, Russ, Ann's story, Leanne's story, everybody in the Hounds of Business, all the folks that we're watching today, their stories are also inspirational.
Yeah, and that's why everybody should write a book. And Scott has always said everybody's got a book in them. Real quickly, I want to say Jackie's in Arizona. Scott, just want to see that there.
Yeah.
And also,
reach out.
I see you and you responded. There you go. I wanted to tell everybody two things. First of all, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor. Just like Scott said, they're not there because you don't know how to dribble. Michael Jordan didn't need a coach because he didn't know how to dribble, shoot, and pass the basketball. He needed a coach to inspire him, make him better, and give him just hone his skills is what he needed. Same thing with Tiger Woods, people like that. And as far as the Olympics, I would just like to say, Scott, go Beavers. Yes, I would like to go Beavers. There you go. Because Jade Carey is once again on the Olympic gymnastics team, the ladies from Oregon State University. Woohoo, go Beavs. So anyway, that's pretty exciting. But looking forward to things to come. But don't forget, everybody, I always want to remind people, and Scott, I know you agree with this 100%. Don't overlook today. Be thoughtful and intentional about today, because today is the only day that you're promised. This moment is all that you're promised. And so you need to be thoughtful about how you're spending that, because every moment is precious, right, Scott?
Absolutely. Yeah. Take advantage of it. And it's those moments that mean something. And I just say, reach out today. Send a text like Russ does. Russ gives out these texts. I get these little morning messages. Say, hey, just have a fabulous day. Praying for you and Christine. And I will say right now, grab your phone, text a friend and just say, hey, I just wanted to say hi. Enjoy celebrating independence. And you just might make your day.
Well, and you don't know how much that means to some people. When you have a gut feeling, which I call God feelings, and you feel like you're supposed to reach out to somebody, do it, because there's so many times that I just feel like impressed to reach out to a specific person, and they just send me back a message saying, I needed that so much. Today I really needed it. And that does warm my heart and make me feel good as well. And so, every time you get a chance to do that, please do. And with that, I just want to remind everybody, we are here every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. Yes, this does stay on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube after we're done for infinity and beyond. That's right, forever. So you can still watch it and still share it with your friends. But also, guess what? More good news. It converts to audio podcasts. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is, while you're jogging or running or driving or whatever you're doing. So remember that today. And thank you for being here with us every Wednesday. Also, don't forget our show Monday, The Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott, 9 a.m. Pacific on Mondays as well. We'd love to have you there. And until we see you again, Scott, I think it's time to wrap things up. I'm never going to get through all the comments. I was hoping I could do it. But anyway, until we see you guys again. Scott, what do you have? I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you there.
Oh, I'm just excited for the experience. The local, we had Buddy Puckett this last week, and we got Scott Michaels coming up. He's got an inspirational story. Scott Michaels is the station manager for Hope 107.9 and Quill for Christ. He is one of the big reasons why we are on the radio, on KWIL, as well as KYKN in Salem, because they thought it was a great idea to have. And Scott Michaels is going to be our guest coming up. And I got to say hi to his daughter and yesterday, because they were having an event in our local area. So anyway,
they're great. No, they're awesome. You're so right. And so sorry for interrupting you with my yay while you were talking, but I was so excited. Kermit had to come on. But listen, you're exactly right. Because really, I got to tell everybody, much of what I do is because of Scott's inspiration in my life and encouragement. And Scott, I appreciate you so much. And the reason that I push forward and I work with Scott to make these things happen, like the radio that we're doing currently, we're growing, we're doing more things, having more opportunity. It's because we are intentionally taking action. I encourage you all to do that today. But with that, Scott, we got to run. It's time. I got to be the responsible host. We're over time.
All right,
so,
let's do it.
All right, everybody. Have a great week ahead. Have an amazing, fabulous 4th tomorrow. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.